uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, hope you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Today's video is about gunfighting tips, tactical and practical gameplay tips to make you a better gunfighter and able to live through a lot more of the situations you're going to come across in PUBG Mobile, where you have to throw hands. Please subscribe to the channel, that would help me tremendously, and like the videos. That is always a very, very helpful thing for me too. And if you want to participate in the streams, make sure to click the little bell icon so you get your notifications. Tip number one, if you are on a hot drop and you do not have a weapon, never run into a room with only one exit. The other word for that kind of a room is a coffin. Unless you go in there and find a gun immediately, you're dead. You're basically dead. This happens all the time. It's one of the best ways to get kills on hot drops is to take an advantage and shove it down people's throats when they don't have a weapon. Secondly, you've got to get better at jump shots, or at least using jump shots. These window sills will stop a lot of firing, but if you get good at using the jump button to actually get up in the air, you will be able to take a lot of engagements that the enemy doesn't expect and hit a lot of shots that the enemy doesn't expect. You're not always going to clear them, but what you will often find is that you can get a headshot in or a chest shot, and that will turn it into a trade you can make a lot more successfully. I mean, you'll miss there, but you get a couple of headshots and a body shot, and you win that gunfight. Just because they're on the other side of a window or a wall doesn't mean that you can't take advantage of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in more detail later, because a lot of that is desync. We're going to get to desync now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this gunfight that's going to come up. This is the pre-drop. You're going to see there's two people across from me here. Watch how I go down here. Yeah, I was expecting him to come out. Let's see that again. Because I've knocked his mate on the left, he's going to push out. We know there's a gunfight on here, and I'm rolling forward, and I'm in TPP, which means people are going to use it at a peak, and we actually get a shot there. I also don't ADS doing that. If you ADS, you ruin it. It doesn't work. And then we're going to push across. I'm expecting him. Watch me jump. We jump. We see his head just there on the left. Someone knocks him, and then we turn around, and it's a full-blown rush to push his other mate. But that first duck, you've got to start expecting that. In TPP, if you are running across an open field or something, there will be someone behind a rock waiting to take advantage of that. And that thing that they're really taking advantage of is desync, or the peeker's advantage, or whatever you want to talk about. You can see here, this is what we're talking about on windows. If you're too close to a window, you can't shoot through it. Okay, so I'm about 100 milliseconds away from the server. You can see there's a bloke that's come out there. He's, say, 50 milliseconds away from the server. I'm going to strafe out that way. It is going to take 100 milliseconds for my screen to get to the server. This is the simplest way to explain it. And then 50 milliseconds for that screen to get to him. I'm using a gun that kills in 0.297 seconds. And I get a headshot, so it's dropped down to like 0.15. I'll guarantee you that on his scream, he's screaming, I shot that guy, I shot that guy, what the hell happened? It's called desync. And desync is one of the reasons why TPP is just so god-awful and so favored towards people that play passively. And you can try and mitigate it, and that's all well and good. But if you are the pusher, the aggressor in desync, like watch this. This guy's nearly going to kill me. I take a big jump around there. I knew he was there, and I knew he was probably low on gear and equipment. He didn't have a vest, so I got away with that one. Here's one of the ways you can minimize desync. I get a hit on that guy, and I'm going to actually do a little fade out and then pull back, and he will jump. Fade out, pull back, and then he jumps. Fade out, pull back, he jumps. Why am I doing that? Well, when I pull back, that resets the server's connection. He can no longer see me on his screen, so I'm back invisible. If I'm the one out in the wide open, he's doing it wrong. Watch this guy. This is a guy doing it to me in reverse. I pull out, he pulls back. Oh, boggles. I am so far outside. Yeah, I've got no hard cover. I've got no wall to duck back into. I was just expecting him to come around. That's one of the things. Desync. You've got to get used to exploiting this and also dealing with it. If you are going to push, you're going to have to push on hard cover, and you're going to have to try and push into situations where you can break that desynchronous connection between the server and the player. Like this. I'm going to push that guy. Now, he's behind a wall. He is looking to do a rollout. Very, very successful. Watch the jump. I can see him there. There's no more desync. It's very, very easy. He wanted to do a horizontal. There's out we go. I made it a vertical. Out we go. and I could see him the whole time. And so now that gets rid of the desync connection for him, and I'm able to take advantage of it. All you need to know is that if you're pushing in TPP, you better be prepared for stuff like this, and you better get good on those tactics, or you are going to eat an absolute bucket full, a whole hat full of hatred and angst as you go, but I shot the guy! And you didn't really shut the guy. This is about hills. We fight for hills, not holes. This is an old axiom from the military, and you just have to look here and see. There is someone down there. I know they're there. They've had a big gunfight. I'm not pushing down that hill. I've got an AWM. I have not got the circle quite there, but what it means is they don't have the circle either, and you're poke fighting an AWM. Like, if you are on top of a mountain, it's better than being at the bottom of a mountain. Even if you're on top of a mountain, though, like these guys up on the walkway are, if you don't have, like, if you're firing PP-19 Bisons down this way, or whatever the hell you've got, I mean, yeah, that's not a good idea. Just because you're on a hill doesn't mean that you get to win. You actually have to have the weapons to do it. So remember that. It's all well and good until somebody pokes an eye out. This is a little bit more about cars. I don't know why people really don't get this, but it's straightforward. Watch, I don't drop out until the cars slow down quite a bit. And then quite often when I jump out like that, I'll do an immediate drop shot because it's just the best way of doing it. You're going to see this bloke is going to roll around, and he's going to jump out when the car's doing like 60 kilometers an hour, and it's just, yeah, great. And you're dead. Another thing that a lot of people who are from places like Australia where the driver sits on the right-hand side of the vehicle get wrong is they shoot the wrong side of the vehicle. You've got to shoot the right-hand side as it's coming towards you. I know this seems simple, but for a lot of countries, that's not the case. And they shoot the wrong side of the car, which is just mental, I know, but trust me, I did this for the longest time. Constantly, almost automatically shot the driver's side that I drive on. Not the driver's side that the car's actually got a driver on. Ripper. I know it sounds stupid, but these are real things. Also, you want to just set your gun up like a laser beam, basically. You want to put it into a position where they have to drive through it, and you keep leading in front of it. It's the very simplicity of leading a target. You don't shoot at the target, you shoot where the target is about to be. Especially when you're looking at like the buggies, you can't really rely on just spraying because they're so flat to the ground. You've got to get down on top of that. Finally, well, not finally, really, we're going to talk about hardcover to hardcover. These are the ones that I try and cover off every single video because especially new players don't get this. I go every time, hardcover to hardcover. So when I start getting hit, I'm right next to a rock because I'm running that way on purpose. It's not the shortest way to the destination. I wanted to get across the road to the house. There's a guy over there with a level 3 helmet that I just killed. But I run hardcover to hardcover in case someone starts shooting at me. And voila, someone started shooting at me, and that gave me an opportunity to get a heal in immediately behind a rock. If you always expect that you're just going to have someone shooting at you, you're going to be a lot less surprised when you do in fact have someone shooting at you. And then we play a little bit of, we close the door, obviously, because you don't want to be shot looting by the same bloke that just shot you while you're behind a rock. Get our level 3 helmet. Move on with life. And I actually set up, this guy was still trying to farm us up there, so I just moved straight to the zone. I could see a car up on the ridgeline there. I moved straight to the zone, find a little bit of cover right next to the edge of the zone and a rock there, and then I just wait for him. And the guy that was trying to full auto spray me has to come in. There's his vehicle. We go a little bit higher and get a bit of tree just next to us in case we need it. There's our knock, and then we just leave him the hell alone. Maybe someone will come to try and pick him up. Maybe he'll bleed to death in the zone. No longer my problem. Problem not belong to me. The final thing I want to talk about here in terms of gunfighting tips is you're going to see that target go in, and there's a target just behind him going in as well. I'm going to let those two get in. They weren't shots that I felt comfortable I could take and make before they got to safety. So I'm going to see if someone else rolls into that area there, that compound, but I'm not going to spoil it. Oh, up on the hill there. There we go. There's the last bloke. Plenty of time to get him and even thirst him up. That's because we didn't take shots we couldn't make. This game is as much about the shots you don't take as it is about the shots you do take. When you start firing, you alert everyone to your presence, and you will quite often, I mean, the DP28, how broken is this gun? And quite often you will just ruin any chance you have at getting a good engagement. I would much rather wait for a shot that's going to work. If I'm in a situation where it's not a trade, happy days. Where I don't have to take someone out, happy days. I'm going to wait for a shot that's going to work, and then I'm going to get the win. And I don't push that because I know there's another guy over there, and by the time I get there, I will actually have to face two because he'll have the revive up. Know your game, know your enemy, know yourself. Be very zen about life. Just generally have a good time. If you like these tips and more, why not share the videos? Why not subscribe? There's a funny idea. Anyway, as always, look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.